If we start with Group 1 Qatar Goodwood Cup, Trollman's an exciting contender. How has he been since his gallant effort in the Gold Cup at Ascot?
Yeah, he's been great for him. Of course, his first run this year. He's really kind of, he's sharpened up a little bit. Had a long time off the track beforehand. Running over 2.5 miles is a pretty extreme thing to do first time out for him. But, he took the race very well. And 2 or 3 days later, he was out in the ring behaving like he was a 2-year-old again. So, he's really got that enthusiasm he's always had.
And as you say, he didn't have the ideal prep into Ascot. How much improvement do you think we can see from him at Goodwood?
Well, he seems to improve here in his work. Won the Great Staying races this summer. And, taking on a similar bunch to Ascot again, but, he goes there in good form.
And we saw him this morning in his pretty distinctive pair of goggles. How much has that helped with his eye sensitivity?
It seems to help. He doesn't really mind them at all. I mean, he's sort of one of those things where if it's working, then why change it, I'll have them on again in the prelims, but no matter what happens, he always seems to maintain his enthusiasm and his love of it, really.
How proud are you of his progression over the last 6 years since his debut as a 2-year-old?
To have a horse like him, a home bred Dolphins, for them, their whole team is absolutely wonderful. He's a horse that everyone can cheer for, everyone likes. He's a very likeable character, and hopefully he runs a great race for them.
And French Master also holds an entry. He was narrowly denied in the Queen Alexandra Stakes. How's he been?
Yeah, he's been good for him since. It was a pretty extreme trip there to run over at Ascot, the 2 mile 6. He's was always question mark going into the race whether he'd stay. Of course, he's never run over that before, but he came out in great order. He hit the line strong there that day. Ran a huge race. Just denied by Illinois. Of course, taking on the same horse again, Goodwood amongst others. But he's in good form. I think he'll probably quite relaxed about the drop back to the 2 miles. And yeah, it's a track that he likes, and I'm sure he'll run well.
On to the Thursday, the Group 1 Qatar Nassau Stakes looks like a red-hot renewal. Friendly Soul's a runner to look forward to. She won the Prix de l'Opera as a 3-year-old. Things haven't gone exactly to plan since. Can you talk us through her season?
No, exactly. She had a bit of a layoff coming into this year. Like you say, things didn't quite go as you'd expect at Haydock. She was travelling into the race very well. Then something, very unexpected happened. Had a nice prep into Ascot. Things didn't quite go to plan there that day. She had a little bit of a messy trip round. She's finishing well, and of course the miles a little bit below her optimum. She'll enjoy stepping back up to the mile and a quarter. It's an incredibly sporting decision of her owner breeders, George and Julia Strawbridge, to keep a mare like her in training for this long. She's one of her great families. I think she's a 4th Group 1 winner from the mare. Just hope it all works out for them.
Do you think she retains that Group 1 ability?
Well, from what she's shown us, she certainly does. From everything we've seen, she still seems to very much retain that ability.
And if she were to strike at Goodwood, how rewarding would that be for you? And also, as you say, her owner breeder, George Strawbridge, who's had that patience to keep her in training and the patience that you've had here in the yard.
Well, I'm sure enormously, it'd be wonderful for them, of course. It's hard to come by fillies like her with her pedigree. It's just fantastic that they want to see her race on and hopefully, fulfil the target she's been aimed for.